Hello everybody, welcome to Outsider Reviews. My name is Pat. Today we're going to cover some Hyundai news, some news from Stelantis, as well as a latest report by Cox Automotive. Welcome back to the show. We're going to discuss some latest Hyundai figures that they released in Q1 of 2023. Essentially, all the numbers are up. Their net profit is up 92.4%. Their sales are up 16%. Revenue went up 24.7%. Operating income up 86.3%. And they've actually increased their market share in the US by 1%, bringing it to 10.7%. What that means to you is probably less incentives. As a matter of fact, Hyundai is decreasing incentives, as you can see in this graphic. Transaction prices are remaining steady, and Hyundai is still below the national average in inventory. Not too much shopping around for you. If you're looking at Hyundai, Kia, always do your best, but keep those facts in mind. The budgeting will be less on price because of all these numbers. On to the next, we have Stelantis, which is a completely other end of the spectrum. we have Hyundai doing great, increasing market shares, and now we have Stelantis just announcing they're going to cut 35 hourly jobs through through buyouts and retirement programs. And to announce as well is their sales are down year over year when everybody else's sales are up year over year because more inventory is to be seen, therefore more cars are to be sold. Even though high interest rates and basically market trend is trending downwards, year over year it's going to be upwards because they have more inventory. Well, it's the opposite for Stellantis. Jeep is down year over year 20%, and Ram is down 8%. Now, when you match that up with the fact that they have the highest inventory in the nation, in the US, then that's not a very good combination. That's why they're cutting some staff. They're going to start cutting some cost. And right now in Canada, you have up to 15% off MSRP. Don't just take that for what it is. If I were you guys, I would probably be digging a little bit extra. The dealerships should be incentivized into trying to get these vehicles off the lot. So don't just accept the OEM incentives off the MSRP. Try to get after a little bit more. That'd be my suggestions. Now we're on to some news from Cox Automotive. New car sales are up year over year, roughly around 13%. Used car sales are down 8%, and week over week, that is a decline of 1%. Meanwhile, the new car sales week over week, that's still flat, which is a little bit abnormal for tax season. Usually you start seeing an increase around this time of year, but it's remaining flat week over week, but still higher year over year. Interest rates month over month are down. Now, I believe this is just a tax season incentive. I don't think that's going to last, especially since the Fed is not set to cut the rates at all. But they're down for new car vehicles, down as 8.89%, and for used vehicles, 13.55%. New vehicle inventory for this month compared to March is down 3 days supply. We did report earlier that in March it was up 70% year over year for new car inventory. Well, now it's up to 60% year over year. So a slight decrease in 10%, which brings us to around mid-50s days supply for new vehicles. Still not where I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it around 90 days supplies. But again, this is not across the board. As stated earlier, you got brands like Hyundai, Kia. They're below the national average. And then you have GM, that's kind of in the middle. Chevy's a little bit higher. GMC's higher, Chevy's below. So Chevy's kind of in, GM is in the middle as far as national inventory, and then you have Stellantis way up high as far as inventory, as I just covered. Used car inventories, now that's down overall, down 7 days supply year over year. It's been flat since March. Not a lot of people are buying cars. There's only a 2.3% increase year over year in sales, even though there's a lot of inventory. But less people are trading in. That's my opinion. Less people are, and less trade in means less influx into the used car market. So less influx in the used car market, less inventory. That's where they get their inventory from, and we're just not seeing that. We're still pretty low compared in numbers from pre-pandemic, but credit applications overall are down 9% year over year. People are not stupid. They're looking at these high interest rate. They're looking at these high prices, high MSRP. They're not going to want to purchase a vehicle right now. So credit applications, that means anybody who's applying that has to send a credit application, is down 9%. So I would read into that aside from the cash buyers, which is a very low percentage of buyers, interest would be down 9% overall. If they're not submitting applications, that means they're not really interested in buying a car right now. Sales in April, like I said, it's just a 2.3% year over year, but month over month, that is a decrease of 6.5%, which is unusual for the tax season. Like I said, it usually spikes up at this time of the year, and we're not seeing that. We're seeing a trend that's people that are a little worried right now about the economy. Maybe they're holding off on making big purchases, and rightfully so. And depending on who you're looking at, there might not be enough incentives right now. So here's a chart of basically what the forecast is for month over month and year over year. You can see that compact SUVs and crossovers year over year, they're up 10.1%, and that mid-size cars are also up year over year 3.5%. However, the overall trend, as you can see in this graphic, is downwards. Now that brings us to our conclusion. Before we head there, next episode that's coming out today is also going to have an insider, which is going to be somebody with 14 years of experience. His name is Junior Timothy. He's been in the game. He's our insider. He's been a sales manager, and he's been a finance manager, which we like to call the closers that usually I like to add on extra fees. We're going to discuss with him what are the tricks of the trade, and how us, the consumers, the outsiders, can go about saving a few bucks on a new car purchase or a used car purchase, any car purchase really. He's going to tell us. So to conclude is, message is still the same on my part. I think the trend is aiming downwards as far as interest, because inventory is up and applications are down and sales are not rising to the level that the inventory is. So the market is trending downwards, even though a lot of people will want to tell you that otherwise. My opinion is, if we wait a couple months or in mid-summer, we should start seeing more incentives across the board as inventory builds up. As always, don't forget to like the video, press the subscribe button and the alert notification so you know when that next video is coming out with all the insider information. From Outsider Reviews, thank you, and we'll see you later.